Well, it's Monday morning, and this is your daily devotional. I'm shooting this Sunday afternoon where everyone's picking up life journals at the church. The ladies behind us, it's just starting to rain on them right now. I think they're backing up. But there's life journals that are getting picked up here between 2 and 4. So you have a life journal. So what do you do now? All right, step number 1, write your name in it. Maybe even write your cell phone number in there in case this ever gets lost. And then page 2, it gives you this process about how to use the SOAP method. So if you need a refresher, take a look at that. Then it says this, you got to pick your reading plan. In here, there's the classic reading plan that is read through the Bible in a year, but there's also an express one that's a little shorter. Here's what I would invite you to do. Maybe you're already reading through a chapter or a book of the Bible, like you're reading through the book of Mark. Keep going in the book of Mark. Just use that scripture now to your reading plan and start journaling there. I would ask you to do this though. Since we're all journaling through the book of Exodus together, I would invite you to grab this bookmark that came with it, and it'll tell you what passage that you should use the SOAP method on. Try this. Do it twice on that section of scripture, and when you do, bring your journal to your community group. Obviously, it's virtual, right? And so read to your group what it is you wrote in your journal. So let me just give you like an example of how it is that I did it. Maybe you would read something like this. This is Exodus chapter 1, verse 1. These are the names of the sons of Israel who went to Egypt with Jacob, each with his family. Let's say that chapter 1, verse 1 stood out to you. You would, for the scripture part, write those very words from the Bible down. And then observations. What is it that you are observing about that text? Who is Joseph? Who is Jacob? Who is his family? And maybe you remember from the message on Sunday that there was a significant story that went there. And so maybe you'd back up to Genesis and start reading that a little bit. And then application might be this. I mean, if God made a way for Jacob and Joseph, how has God made a way for you to know him? And maybe the application is just you're thankful for the history that God has brought your way. That's just one example. Let me give you another quick example. In chapter 2, verse 12, here's what it says. Moses is in the middle of intervening in a fight. And then it says this, chapter 2, verse 12, looking this way and that and seeing no one, he killed the Egyptian and hid him in the sand. I read this a while ago, and the thing that stuck out to me was this. Before he was about to act, he looked this way and he looked that way. And then he did something. And it reminded me of this. The application is, you know you're about to do something stupid. You know you're about to do something wrong. You know you're about to do something you're going to regret when you look this way and you look that way. And then you're about to act because of this. You're hiding what you're about to do. If you have to hide what you're going to do, then you know you're about to step down a road that you don't want to go down. And so that would be my application for that one. So let me invite you to do this. Here's your SOAP schedule, your reading plan. Figure out which one you're doing this week. Learn that SOAP method, and you'll get better at it the more that you do it. And just write down the scripture, the observation, the application, and before you're done with your morning, write down a prayer, short one, you and God, words that are authentic and true to you and your relationship with him. And just be as transparent as you can. And then take that journal, and when you meet with your group virtually, be ready to share what it is that God showed you in the scriptures. That's how we're doing this whole journal. I trust that God's going to meet you in a great way as we do this. We'll see you soon.